Hey, hi everybody. Welcome to the Eco Ranch. I'm Robert Earl. We're out here in far west Texas, and I'm just getting ready to test out our newest finished project around here. If you followed any of our videos, and thank you if you have, you might have noticed that we have about 497 unfinished projects going on around here. Behind me is one of them. This was a project I started when we were on that horrible television program, Doomsday Preppers. I mentioned I was going to build a smokehouse, and they says, oh great, build it for us while we're there. Well, that didn't work out very good because it took me about a month to build this, and this is what I want to show you today. This is my smokehouse, or our smokehouse, and it's something that we're going to kind of do a crossover here back to my Desert Chef channel also, because it's something that kind of sort of belongs in Desert Chef, although I'm not going to get really big into barbecuing in that channel. But on this channel, smoking, curing and smoking your meats, preserving your meats is something we all need to know how to do, and myself included. And in order to do that, you need a good smokehouse. One thing I noticed when I watched the videos over the last week, and serious numbers now, I think I probably did watch about 200 where people that were titled Smokehouse. And I'm watching them, and invariably, if I watch 200 of them, 180 of them, some guy walked up to a box built out of pallets or slapped together, or an old refrigerator. This here's my dang smokehouse. We done did build this thing, and by golly, we just put some old smoke in there and got us a hog and chopped it up, slapped that hog in there. We got some good old stuff in here. It is good old stuff. Well, if you're like me, you're trying to live sustainably, and you have a slightly different accent than that gentleman did, and a slightly different education level, and you don't look at family reunions as an opportunity to pick up chicks. You want to learn about a smokehouse, a real smokehouse, not a box that you put smoke in. That's called a smoker. A smoker. A smokehouse is just exactly that. It is a smokehouse. Smokehouse can do hot smoking, cold smoking, and as a rookie to smoking, I'm not going to pretend to be an expert, but I am going to show you what we did here with this smokehouse. Of course, like everything else we do around here, unique to this smokehouse, it is built out of bottles. These are all beer bottles. It is a beer bottle smokehouse up to the top. I began to taper the top in, thinking I'd be able to go all the way up and do a dome of beer bottles. Well, it just didn't look like I was going to be able to pull that off as I got up too high. So in a moment I'll take the camera and I'll show you what I did do for the roof. But essentially I laid timbers on the across the roof and then did a ferro cement on top of that. It is not a ferro cement roof per se. It is a timber roof with ferro cement on top that completely seals it. So a couple other points. I have not finished what I want to do with the door yet. I'm really toying with the idea of putting a plexiglass door in here. So for the moment I had this piece of paneling that will completely cover it. Over here is a digital thermometer that has an alert. The problem with bottles, of course, and people will ask me if I don't tell you, if you get them too hot, they're going to craze and then crack and the whole thing will deteriorate. So we have an upper limit of 275 degrees. That is the most temperature you want in this. This is a smoker. It is not a cooker. It's ideally for cured meats or to slow smoke something. So I have the high temperature set at 275, and it's going to be, and I'll show you in a moment, but I wanted you to see the construction. It is 8 feet in diameter, which gives me just a touch less than 7 feet on the inside when you deduct the 14 inches for the bottles. And it was fairly simple, although it was a big deal to do. So let me show you the inside and a little bit about it, and then we'll light it up. Let me get back in the camera. We'll light it up because this is going to be the test firing of it, and I'm going to season the inside with mesquite. since Debbie and I went out and collected some mesquite, and we're going to season it. We're going to burn it for about 3 hours, and then I've got some of the pork tenderloin that I'm going to actually make a fresh pork smoked tenderloin in the new smoker. We'll see how it turns out. If it turns out all right, the very next thing that's going in there is going to be about 75 pounds of meats. I think I've got about 60 couple pounds of pork, and I've got a javelina ham that I've cured in a special cure to go in there. We're going to see how all this turns out. Let me show you the inside, and we'll go. Okay, removing the door. You got to watch your head on this. It's a 24-inch door. Removing the door, you go in here to the Firebox, and the Firebox is nothing more than an old washing machine drum set on a piece of galvanized steel that I put set in concrete. I have it all set to light up with some old 2x4s, some paper, some 2x4s, and then we'll, once I get some coals in there, we're going to throw in mesquite to season it. But here's what the inside looks like. The sun's coming from that direction. We have sunlight right now, but I forgot the date. I think it's October 22nd, 23rd. Anyway, Hurricane Patricia is just about to hit Mexico, and we can see the outer bands off to our west. So we're going to be under a lot of clouds very, very, very soon. That's just kind of what the inside looks like. I have a dirt floor, and I believe I'm going to leave the dirt floor for the moment. When I said timbers, this is exactly what I have here, are timbers, and then I put the steel there and plump the cement on top. I've got about 2.5 inches of cement on top of that. It is a mortar cement, and what I mean by that is I used my typical mortar mix, increased the Portland, and that made me kind of a cross, and it really is a ferro cement mix. Now in here, this wire is the sensor for the digital thermometer. Digital thermometer is on the outside here. I've left it turned on and set at 275. It is magnetic, and I mounted a plate on the inside and a plate on the outside. We just put it there, and I didn't mean to start the time, but anyway. And that is it, ready to go. Now, as far as smoke goes, here is my chimney going out, and that chimney goes down to just below the bottom of the burner here. And ideally, this is going to fill the place up with smoke, and then the smoke will have to exit somewhere, and of course it'll exit through the cracks in the door. It'll exit through here. I do have the ability of removing this section here if I want to. Now, what I neglected to say initially, two things actually. I do have a grill cover that I bought for this. The grill cover could go on, and I can barbecue on it, but again, the door would have to be open because you do not want that interior temperature to damage the bottles. Also, I designed this to be a cold or hot smoker. And what I mean by that is you've got your fire here, which would be a small fire. If you use a small fire, you can hot smoke something directly above the, what the hell would I call this? The wash tub. Let's call it the wash tub. You can burn it right above the wash tub. You can burn it off. You can hang it off to one side here where it'll still gather some heat. That would allow you to have hot smoke, or you can go for cold smoke way out here on the edges, and you can cold smoke. So it is designed to do both, and it should do a good job of both, but we'll know when we test it, and we're about to test it right now. So let me get this set up, get the fire started, and I will come back and show you what we've got going with, hopefully. Well, I'm back. I've changed hats, and I've got the initial fire going in there that's going to heat it up, and then I've got mesquite piled all around here. I've got some very, very dry mesquite to further season it with, and then I have some great mesquite. It's been dead maybe a couple of years, 2 or 3 years only. to finish smoking the pork tenderloins we're going to have for dinner tonight, but I have to finish seasoning it. All this wood came off of our property here, and mesquite's very strong, so I don't want to use it for a lot of smoking, so I've actually got pecan wood for smoking. But I'll show you, I'll take the door off and show you what we've got. It's 244 degrees in there right now. And like I say, that's just 2x4s. Now you can see I put the grill on the top, and I've got 3 potatoes on for tonight's dinner. For now, I can control the temperature by kicking the bottom of the door out a little bit to let more oxygen in. Eventually, I'm going to have a door plate on whatever door I settle on, where I can just dial it open or dial it shut. So with that, there's nothing more to show you except the cooked dinner. I don't think I'll do that because I just want to eat everybody's meals when they do it. So the smokehouse is finished. The temperature seems to be perfect. It's up at 259 right now up here. That's up here, so it's not that hot in the rest of it. And of course, directly over the fire is where I'm going to have the high heat that'll bake those potatoes for me. Then I'll move the potatoes off to one side. And that's it. We'll let you know how it works in the comments underneath. In the meantime, you leave your comments underneath. Subscribe if you want. If you like what we're doing out here and you really believe in this type of thing, there is a donate button up there. And that any money that anyone donates to the Eco Ranch goes right directly into the agricultural parts of the building. It does not go into our house. It goes into the agricultural parts, which right now we're finishing the greenhouse off. So with that, thank you for watching this. It's relatively short. I hope you learned a little bit about smokehouses and the difference between a smoker and a smokehouse. And I will see you in the next video. For now, this is Robert Earl at the Eco Ranch. Take care. Oh, come on, you didn't think I would really let you go without seeing the finished smoked tenderloin, did you? We'll see it together. Now, I don't ever cut this way, but let's try now. Ooh. Okay. There's the finished tenderloin right there. Yum, yum, yum. Smoked pork tenderloin. And there you go, folks. Smoked pork tenderloin on Asian-style coleslaw, baked potato with butter and cream cheese. And the pork tenderloin is covered with a butter honey sauce. There we go. Bon appetit for Debbie and I. And first test of the smoker is a success. Bye for now.